And welcome in the chat to Jelena, just in time for the finals at CTWC Gamescom between Jakub and Marq. In the back we have Nizuna, making sure that the seats are correct. And we also have Vicky a bit in the frame here, for example. And I get a thumbs up. So let's start the finals between Jakub and Marq in 3, 2, 1, Tetris! Roda versus Roda. So this could be a nice long match. We could see 5 times up to level 39 as you play best of 5, and 39 is when the double kill screen happens. So 18 is 139s, 19 is 100 lines, 29 is 100 lines. And yeah, that means a ton of amazing Tetris action, the aggression of 18, the balance of aggression, and some survival of 19. And trying to find a way to get Tetrises on level 29. This is the first burn that Marq is taking here after 12 lines. Jakub also took a burn, but Marq needs to burn a bit more in the opening, which does give, potentially at least, a quick advantage to Jakub, depending on if Jakub can set up for the Tetris and he does get the burn time perfect. So Jakub is now about 3/4 of a Tetris ahead of Marq here. Nice T adjustment here from Marq for the burn to get open here. Getting the bar, Tetris to Marq. Now maybe going for the center. Now is cleaning this up, going for the most efficient way of playing Tetris here. Oh well, most efficient, most safe, all of that at once. Also next Tetris is happening. Jakub is about 2.5 Tetrises ahead of Marq. Marq is getting his own next Tetris here. So yeah, the opening of 18 is basically what we expect. Meaning, quite safe, a bit of aggression. And, I mean, the bit of aggression is just because, as a Roda, there's not really differentiating between aggression and playing normal, so that's why, at least in 18, that's the case. So at least in 18, it's normally like, yeah, they just play. At least according to a few I spoke to. Could always change, of course, or like change depending on the player as well. Yeah, that's just the general gist of what's happening here. 2 amazing Rodas rolling against each other, trying to get any kind of reasonable lead into level 19, and to then hopefully put some pressure on their opponent on level 19. These 2 have also faced off a few times against each other before, which means they know each other, they know their weaknesses and strengths, and they know that both of them definitely has what it takes to win here. As Marq is going for the Witz here, delayed Witz for Marq. And Tetrises have just happened as well. V48. V34. Some nice adjustments here on Jakub's side. Okay. Needs to burn a few lines here. Kept it down to a minimum. Perfect. Marq also needs to burn a few lines here. Got an LPs, which means he needs to burn a few more lines here now. Or plays aggressive. Okay, he doesn't play that aggressive. And is now 1 high at the bottom. Let's see if Marq will play 1 high or if he is trying to clean this up. And yeah, looks like Marq is trying to play this quite safe. Basically, with setup here on Jakub's side, he does go for the Tetris first, and instead does some SP stacks. SP stacks on Jakub's side. Quite nice here. And in the chat saying, good luck to Jakub and Marq. So both players are getting charted on. Charted for, so 464, 390, 75k lead here, as Marq is once again a bit of a burning situation here. Marq qualified as seed number 1, which means got 4 max outs in the qualification session, whereas Jakub only got 2 max outs. Max outs is the maximum score cap in an unmodded version of Tetris, which is 999,999. Or basically a million. But due to us using Nessus gems, we can calculate infinitely high, basically. Yeah. And Jakub, I see still 88% Tetris rate. This is such an impressive game number 1 here by Jakub. Yeah, you can see 557. 20 lines to go. That basically means Jakub got to get a 650 transition. 650 transition would be so amazing and would put so much pressure here on Marq in game number 1. Yeah, still 4 Tetrises in the theory for Jakub to go. Okay, he's adjusting for the bar, nice. Is getting the D piece adjusted for the upcoming J piece, and is now just waiting for the next bar for Tetris, is taking the safety triple here, perfect. 1 more Tetris to Jakub 631. Like Marq's 533 still is quite a good score, but in comparison to Jakub's now 654, yeah, no, you just can't compare that. 678 transition here for Jakub. Really showing us here what he can do. So 680 for Jakub basically, and Marq is positioning at 560, so that's over 100k lead here to Jakub in the transition. But Jakub has a few missteps here in the transition that he needs to burn through. Could be the chance for Marq to start catching up a bit. Yeah, Tetris here going to Marq. Jakub getting a 1 high Tetris here. Playing 1 high on 19 is quite doable for Roda. And one more in the chat saying, let's go Marq and Jakub. So 2 people now shining for them here. Jakub going for a left rail, doesn't get the bar in time. Marq doesn't get the T-spin. Gets the 2 spin here. Next Tetris to Jakub on the left side. 769, 649. Jakub is now going on the standard rail once again here. And one more Tetris here going to Jakub. Yes, so both players now having clean stacks and being able to play clean Tetris here. Marq is still going for Witzes just because he's a funny guy. And Jakub is going for one more Tetris here. Double bar dependency for Marq filled in. Ooh, center's getting quite high on Marq's side. Yeah, he's starting to burn down a few lines just to make sure he's not getting too high there. Getting a Tetris and needs to burn 3 lines now. Jakub currently still 120k ahead of Marq here. And next Tetris going to Marq. Jakub is ready here based on what I can see here. Just waiting for the bar. Marq didn't get the T piece in time, which means he needs to burn once again just a few lines here. And we can see Marq being nearly ready to go for the next Tetris. Having some inconsistencies in his tech that he needs to deal with. Yeah, Jakub is just on fire here in this game, I have to say. Yeah, Marq is troublesome. OP is not what he wanted. Ooh, getting some nice burns, but the T-piece doesn't go over to the left, which means Jakub takes game number 1. It is 1-0 for Jakub, as Jakub is close to the max out here. But yeah, Jakub just showed early on in 18 what he can do, then transitioned at about a 120k lead, and just continued to keep that lead. Max out now for Jakub. Still has time for 1.1 before level 29. Looks like he is trying to go for it. Would need about 3 Tetrises for that, or like 1 Tetris and good burns. That could also do it. But I guess he's trying to go for the next Tetris here to make it easy. Yep, Tetris to Jakub. Can still get 2 more, so nearly 200k, 1.2 for Jakub that he could do before level 29, and of course 29 Jakub's journey isn't over, as we can see now 29 action by Jakub trying to go for the 1.2 for the C. Yeah, looks like Jakub is now going the safe way here. If you play quite aggressive, you could get like a 1.4 maybe. But playing safe oftentimes makes sense. And here's the final bar for Jakub for that 1.2. Well done here, 1.22 Jakub. And it looks like there's some fans for Jakub in the chat chanting for him. That was a strong showing here by Jakub in game number 1. And do a 3, 2, 1, Tetris! That players have started similar openings, but the first LPs was placed differently, which means different stacks from now on. And of course we start having a drought, something that all finals should have, but that's a long drought. That's like 30 pieces already. You can see Jakub's board in a bit of issues. At least these players don't try to, you know, play perfect when it doesn't make any sense. But yeah, what a long drought. Finally a Tetris for Marq. So Marq getting the first Tetris. Jakub's burning and has now opened up. And gets the bar into Tetris for Jakub and for Marq. Yeah, well done survival here, especially by Marq. Jakub is getting the next Tetris, so is Marq. And if you look at the Tetris percent rates, we can just see how bad they are at 61 and 78 respectively. And next Tetris going to Jakub here. And one more going to Jakub, 130 versus 103. And one more to Marq into 149, so there's like 4k difference between these two players now. It is neck and neck. Small lead to Jakub, which is not increasing as Marq is once again burned a few lines here. Closes the well again even. Not that amazing of a position for Marq as he needs to burn more and more. And Jakub is already 2 Tetrises ahead of Marq here. The next few burns here happening on Jakub's side. And Marq needs to close the well up quite high, which just means more burning and more opportunities for Jakub to get ahead, as we have once again a 30+ piece drought. The second long drought of this game here, 37 pieces, wow. Definitely not a seed that you normally wanna play, but one you have to be able to play. Tetris just happened, and here's one more Tetris into Simul Tetris. 258 and 212. And one more to Marq and one more to Jakub here. Marq going for the delayed Witz, just get a buff for the Witz to show us how funny he is. And we have some more good luck have funs in the chat. As it's 304, 259, still about a 2 Tetris lead here for Jakub. Despite Marq needing to burn quite a lot of lines here sometimes. It's similar to Jakub, as you can see. Jakub also needs to burn a bit here, which is how this game is still close, as neither player can put on too much aggression here thanks to the P sets. Okay, so Marq is ready while Jakub is opening up. Oh, but Jakub is opened up now. Having a body plan in Canon 4 though. Just as a closed, okay. Status readiness here for Jakub, waiting for the bar. 20+ piece drought has started. We saw multiple 30+, but okay. Luckily no 30+ piece drought for a third time here this game. Both players were able to survive it. And that means one Tetris and some change lead here for Jakub, as we are at about 100 lines now. And one more person in the chat chanting for Jakub. That's like 4 now, I believe. So a lot of fans in the chat. Next Tetris to Marq, next Tetris to Jakub, bits to Marq, and Tetris to Marq as well here. 409, 402, neck and neck. Next Tetris to Jakub here. And just some cleanup on the fields as we're approaching level 19. As a roller, you don't need as clean of a board as a desk player, but you still want to try to be in a clean position. Less than 10 lines to go here. Tetris and some change lead to Jakub. And one more Tetris to Jakub here. And Marq wasn't ready for the Tetris here, so yeah, I guess he's having to burn soon. Close the well and transitions at 460. 460 transition for Marq. And 509 transition for Jakub. So about a 2 Tetris transition lead here to Jakub. Both players now in an at least mostly clean state, needing to burn a few lines now. And Jakub gets the Tetris in. Now he's gonna play one high most likely. Okay, so Marq is quite high in terms of the stack. Needs to burn down a few lines, and yep, he is managing to get started on that. Right side is a bit tougher to access, but he can tap the pieces over, which means more and more cleanup that Marq is doing. But also more that Jakub is getting ahead of Marq once again. Only already 100k lead here to Jakub. As Marq, I mean, is showing us amazing survival. But survival doesn't get you the points needed against a high-level roller such as Jakub. Yet Marq now getting the Tetris into 540 against 630 here for Jakub. Next Tetris to Marq. And if you look at the amount of lines played, Marq is ahead of Jakub here. Like 10 lines more, which is about 2 Tetrises. So it's a massive lead here that Jakub has. And of course, we feel to donate to the prize pool to motivate these players to play to the best of their abilities. Type an exclamation mark Matcherino in the chat to see the link to our prize pool. Tetris lead here to Jakub. Tetris going to Marq. And Grandmaster in the chat is asking why Marq isn't rolling, but based on what I can tell, he is rolling. Yeah, he is in fact rolling, so just not properly captured on stream, but don't worry, Marq is rolling here. Next step is going to Marq as well, as we have 850 against 738. 111 lead here to Jakub, so quite a big lead. As we are on level 26 for both players, next Tetris to both of them. And one more to Marq. Marq now on level 27. Quite a lot behind Jakub, but level 29. I would say, yeah, Marq is a bit stronger on level 29 than Jakub is. So Marq can still catch up on level 29. Oh, but Marq is getting far too higher for level 29. Yeah, even 90 is becoming troublesome, as you can see, as he didn't get the blue S piece over, which means Marq once again tops out before level 29, and Jakub has a max out now. Second max out of this match going to Jakub. And next Tetris, Jakub once again trying to go for a B 1.1, getting the 1.1 now. And also, of course, trying to go for 1.2, maybe even a 1.3. Let's see how far he can take level 29 speeds. Yeah, nice burns here that Jakub is showing us. Taking the safe way. Level 29, you generally want to play quite safe. Though aggressive. Game 3 in 3, 2, 1, Tetris! Potentially the last game we see between these two players. At least here at CTWC Gamescom. There's Marq getting the first Tetris. Jakub had quite well on the left side, you could say. So he wasn't able to use bar in the moment, in the opening, which is how Marq got ahead at that point. Yeah, now Jakub overtook Marq here. As you have a neck and neck situation, 74 and 72. Next set is going to Marq. Marq now at 95. Yeah, I would say these players are playing quite clean Tetris for now. Jakub also getting the spin here. Nice, 123, 99. Again, this is game 3-2-0 for Jakub. If Jakub manages to win this game, he will be the winner of CTWC Gamescom and, for example, receive the prize pool of 500 euros, which has been kindly sponsored by Mod Retro, so make sure to check out the Mod Retro consoles and cables. 215, 169. A Tetris lead to Jakub, and Jakub even now doing the hey now. So Kingsman, if you're still here, somebody is still thinking about you, no matter what he's doing. That one is Jakub. Yeah, small SD burst here for these players. Marq was able to use them properly. Jakub wasn't. And is why Jakub had to burn a few lines here. And Marq, okay, gets the bar, nice. I would say it's a bit of a dependency. Didn't matter too much, as he just got the next Tetris in. Jakub also has a bit of a J dependency, now L dependency. Well done with the pieces. And next Tetris to Jakub. Marq is waiting for the bar, but he closed just before it. 312, 270. So about a 2 Tetris lead here for Jakub in game number 3. So a bit of a tough situation here for Marq, being down 2 games, being down 2 Tetrises. He does need to find a way to catch up, optimally before level 19. But even if it is on level 19, it's totally fine. Okay, so he's getting the next Tetris, 2.5 Tetris lead for Jakub, which is like 50-60k. Yeah, 58. And next Tetris is going to Jakub as Marq. I mean, Marq isn't really making any mistakes here, it's just that Jakub finds a way to play that bit more efficient, which is all the difference here between these two players. And next Tetris to Jakub, next Tetris to Marq. 453, 396. 2.5 Tetris lead to Jakub still. Next Tetris going to Marq. Jakub managing to not get closed here, so well played so far by Jakub. Jakub was really just showing us what a rotor can do. Of course, he still needs to burn and stuff like that, but in general, you're not struggling at all here. Using the pieces I just said as Jakub is getting higher. But this side as a rotor is still reasonably playable. He's getting out of that like it's nothing, so well done here so far by Jakub. As Marq also was able to use this to catch up a bit to Jakub. And of course, just as I said that Jakub got the next Tetris, so there's that. And Jakub is cleaned up open once again. Which means he's now waiting for the next bar, which falls down. Tetris to Marq, Tetris to Jakub. At similar lines now, 1.5 Tetris lead, I would say, in terms of pace, as Marq has played 3 lines less. And we are basically in the transition. Just 1 line to go for Jakub and 4 lines to go for Marq. 585 transition for Jakub and 542 transition for Marq. So yeah, nearly a 2 Tetris lead here in the transition for Jakub. Next Tetris to Jakub once again. And 1 next Tetris to Marq here. Pretty clean transitions here for these players. Just Jakub was burning a bit. That JP's on Jakub's side could be quite dangerous here. Yeah, it looks like that's it. Oh yeah, that's it for Jakub. He doesn't get the pieces to where they need to be. So Marq needs to chase down a bit over half a Tetris. Marq needs 621, 621 is Marq's goal. And let's hope that his deck won't escalate here. Okay, he's getting a few burns in. Good double here for Marq. Good. Bar. Nice. No, the press. Okay, still under control back again. Good double here for Marq. That looked far too dangerous here for a second. Needs something for the left side. Is going for a single. He doesn't need that much, but that pink S-piece on the left side. Okay, our piece going over. Oh no, but the next pink S-piece. That's it for Marq. Marq tops out. And Jakub sweeps Marq, winning this game by like 7,000 points. Huge GG's to Jakub for this performance, for being able to sweep in the finals at the CTWC Gamescom. Huge GG's. Let's come over to Marq as we have like interview with our runner-up Marq. So first of all, congratulations to second place. You faced off against Jakub. Would you say that your match was how you expected to perform, or were there some kind of issues with your health? I believe you told me this morning.
The result was not how I expected it. Of course, I wanted to win, but I was a little ill the days before, but not anymore. So I have no excuse. Like everyone is telling me, "Oh, you have a nice excuse," and I'm like, "No, I don't have an excuse. I'm not ill anymore."
Okay, then sounds like I misunderstood you. I guess your plan is also to just train more?
Choke less and train more.
I mean, that sounds like quite an expected answer. Oh, and I also see that there is some fun gifts here being prepared by Maurice, because we have... I mean, I believe this is for the winner, so sadly not you.
No, this is second place. No.
Is it?
Maurice.
Okay, Maurice, zweiter Platz. Is this second place? Oh, I apologize. This is second place. So huge congratulations to Marq for the second place. And some amazing mod retro chromatic parts. The camera's over here. Yes, you have the extra chromatic, the Game Boy, you could say. This is getting quite close. And we also have the new link cable, as you know, if you want to play against each other. The link cable, and that is now available by Madrid. So huge congratulations to Marq for performing this well at the CTWC Gamescom. Is there anything you want to tell the viewers on location or online?
Hi.
Okay, and with that, I guess we will welcome in Jakub, the winner. Once again, a bit of applause for Marq and for Jakub here. Test. Oh. I pressed the button that mutes me on accident. Okay, no, so... first of all, huge congratulations for winning the CTWC Gamescom. Is there anything you want to tell our amazing viewers?
What was the question? Sorry, I'm still a bit flattered. Sorry.
I just asked, is there anything you want to tell our amazing viewers?
I've been doing this for like 6 years now. My first tournament was Gamescom 2019. I came in with a 400,000 PB or something like that. Jonas was here casting. And, well, I dropped in round 1, 0-2 to Giant. And I feel like... I can hold it if you want. Okay. And I feel like 6 years later, it's so nice to see almost all faces back together here. And that we still share this passion. It feels like a meetup of a lot of old friends, like just doing still the same thing, just having fun, just playing some block games, and I'm so happy that especially this tournament is the first regional win for me ever.
Congratulations on that. And you said that you play for fun, but in this tournament you won a prize pool of 500 euros, sponsored by Modretto. So huge shout outs to Modretto and their amazing sponsorship for this event. I guess with that money you plan on competing in the CTWC Open World Championship in the United States, I believe, in June next year, aren't you?
What's their question? I'm sorry.
You plan on competing next year in the CTWC, aren't you?
Oh, if I want to participate, I'd like to. Sure. I mean, it would be the third time for me. I haven't made the gold brackets yet, but there's still a thing left to do.
So you can definitely make the gold bracket next year after your performance here. I don't really have any questions prepared because I didn't expect 4 interviews in a row, I have to admit. But yeah, I would say huge thanks for being here, huge thanks for being such an amazing player, caster, and person in general. I would say the whole community loves you.
That's too a lot of. I didn't deserve that lot of humble, but thanks a lot. And can I have some shoutouts real quick? Just one shout out to my fiancé. I love you a lot, and thanks for being with me all the time.
Talking about shoutouts, I guess we have now finished the tournament. We want to do the shoutouts for our amazing crew here on location.
What did?
Do you want to do the shoutout for our crew here on location? Because I've talked so much. Yeah, like I mean the organizers, all of us.
Oh yeah, sure. Now I have to work as well, right? Yeah, thank you, Gamescom. Thank you, Modretto. Thank you. It was Game History Museum, I believe. Yeah, it was. Thank you very much for hosting us today. We had such a fun tournament. Thank you to all the players. Thank you to Modretto for the awesome prizes. Thank you to everyone who donated to the match arena. Thank you to everyone who watched from home. And boom, Tetris for you.
And of course, also shoutouts to Maurice, the main organizer. Of course, also shoutouts to...
Please, big applause for Maurice, please.
Applause for Maurice, exactly. Also, shoutouts to Gihi, also known as Tobias, for organizing a lot of the, let's say, smaller prizes, like every player got a player back, so shoutouts to Gihi Tobias. Shoutouts to G and Rain for doing the stream.
Woo!
Shoutouts to Nizuna and Jakub for being the referees here. And shoutouts to the rest of the Game History Museum. It was exactly crowd. I didn't want to make a mistake there, but shoutouts to the rest of them for being part of the crew. I hope I didn't forget anyone.
And please a round of applause to the voice of the stream, Jakub, for commentating all afternoon. Thanks a lot.
As always, you're welcome and it's a pleasure to be here. Yeah, with that, so the stream is now over. We had a lot of fun time, a lot of amazing and action-rich time. And for the viewers here on location, please enjoy the rest of the Gamescom 2025. And we will see each other again next year on Saturday for the CTWC Gamescom 2026.
29th of August 2026.
Oh, you know the date already. Yeah. Perfect. I did. So thanks for the date confirmation.